left the village at dawn and stumbled back through the jungle in a post-party daze. It was just like sneaking back to my parents' house when I was younger. Except, Oakland didn't have monkeys or parrots. The shaman thinks you should go visit your kids.
So, he told you?
Look, Hubert, having an extended family is nothing to be ashamed of. If I was you, I'd be ashamed of not being there for them.
It was that damned monkey dance that led me astray.
Yeah. A sight like that must be difficult to forget. I've got the route, Hubert.
What are you waiting for? Give it to the gal.
Right. Nico, I've brought you this root. No way was she going to be able to chew the root. I needed to give her the antidote in a more digestible form. I thought it best not to defile the altar while Hubert was looking after Nico. It was Father Hubert's personal altar. I wondered what Hubert had used to make his candles. I didn't have any use for Hubert's candles. The juice from the root was soaking into the ground. The cone was ideal as a makeshift container. As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone. Look, Hubert, the antidote.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to the girl, quickly.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other two stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, George Stobbart?
The patient is sounding more like her old self already. Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called KETCH'S Landing. It looked like a set of plans. The guy was studying a large document. I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
Hey, get out of there.
You know, wherever I go, I hear those words. Paris, Syria, Ireland, or Spain. Makes no difference.
What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to show some interest in your project. Hi, is this KETCH'S Landing?
Yeah, that's right.
My name's George Stobbart. You're a surveyor, right, Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know. Hobby, maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here, anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it! The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay?
Look at this. An article about a total eclipse of the sun.
Oh, yeah? Listen, I don't want to be rude, but it just comes naturally. I really don't care.
Catch you later, Bronson. I recognized the instrument as a theodolite, but I had no idea how to operate it. It was a net left to dry in the sunshine. I didn't want a fishing net. The kid looked about 11 or 12. He was fishing with the intense concentration of someone who had all the time in the world.
You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means, well, it's just a name. No school today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Is it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
That's right. That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
What do you know about Captain Ketch?
Just what everybody knows around here. He was a pirate and get himself hung.
Who are these old ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They're going to regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
Will you help me get those plans?
I don't want to go nowhere near that man. He promised to drown me when he found the fish I left in his sleeping bag.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
Do you know anything about a forthcoming eclipse?
No, but that explains why the weather's about to get real bad.
Rio, it's a beautiful day. There's no more than a whisker of cloud in the sky.
Trust me, man, it going to get real bad.
Bronson was studying his drawing. What do you think of Rio?
Fish boy? If he comes near me again, I'll throttle the little squirt.
Calm down. What's he ever done to you?
Socked me in the back of my skull with some kind of fish, that's what.
Tell me about the two old ladies.
Who? The Ketch sisters. One of them's crazy as a coot, and the other will turn you to stone if you're not careful.
What are you doing with the theodolite?
Surveying the old house. I got great plans for this place.
Oh, yeah?
You bet. Take a look around. What do you see?
Paradise.
I see opportunity. This place is ripe for development.
I like it just the way it is.
And that's where we differ. You see, Mr. Stobbart, I'm what you might call a man of vision. I see a great future for KETCH'S Landing, and it all starts here, with that house.
Can I take a look at your plans?
No way. What interest would they be to you, anyhow?
I've always had a secret desire to be a surveyor.
You have?
Sure. I mean, you surveyors are just like the great explorers, aren't you? Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, Chris Columbus. Maybe you don't sail uncharted seas or discover new continents, but you're okay in my book.
Horse shit. You just stay away from those plans, you hear?
How do you survey a house like that?
I've put a target reflector on the end of one of the flagpoles up there on the house. I sight on it from various locations through the theodolite, record the angles along the baseline, and triangulate them to give me the exact position of the target. Understand?
Why the end of the flagpole? Wouldn't it have been better on a corner of a wall or something?
Are you a surveyor?
No, my degree's in law.
Then shut up.
Catch you later, Bronson. It was an old house. Two old ladies were sitting outside the house enjoying afternoon tea. A cute little putty-tat. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. It was busily torturing a red ball. It was locked.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Oh, of course. This must be the place Bronson's surveying.
The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am, I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't exactly have to fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point. I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across. Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobbart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea. Is that your cat?
Yes, it is.
That's Ruddles.
Do you like cats, Mr. Stobbart?
I love them. They're so cute with their claws and their little puckered butts.
Aren't they, though?
Don't encourage him, Mina.
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house. Can you tell me anything about Captain Ketch?
More than you can tell me about your great-great-great-great-grandfather, no doubt.
You're his descendants?
Certainly. Captain Ketch was born in Dorset, England, in the reign of King Henry VIII. His family were undistinguished farmers, but young Frederick Ketch decided to go to sea.
We have plenty of seamen in our family, Mr. Stobbart.
Are you interested in history, Mr. Stobbart?
Yes, I am. You were telling me about Captain Ketch. Do go on.
Oh, yes. He sailed under Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins?
John Hawkins, one of the great traders of the Elizabethan age. In 1568, Frederick Ketch was a young man serving aboard the Jesus, Hawkins' flagship. They sailed from England to Africa and across the wide Atlantic to these islands. Ketch was never to see the shores of England again.
How come Ketch never made it home?
Because the Spaniards sank the Jesus in an act of treachery.
You said Hawkins' fleet traded between Africa and the Indies. What was it they were trading?
Black men with no shirts.
You have to understand, Mr. Stobbart, that this was the 16th century.
But that doesn't alter the fact that Hawkins and Ketch were slavers and pirates.
Would it surprise you to learn that Hawkins was also a devoutly religious man?
He transported slaves in a ship named after Jesus Christ. In my book, that makes him a hypocrite. What happened to Ketch? Was he killed?
Oh, no. He got away and returned to this island, to this very house.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum.
Frederick Ketch sounds like he was a pirate to me.
As I have already told you, sir, he was not a pirate.
They hanged him, you know, down there on the beach in front of his family. Didn't bother with the trial, just whipped him out from his breakfast table and hoisted him up in chains.
Well, if he wasn't a pirate, what did they hang him for?
Envy. Pure green-eyed envy. He had been a successful privateer, you see, and had accumulated great wealth.
As rich as a mink in a paddock.
Shut up, Mina.
Yes, Frost.
The small-minded governor and his lackeys wanted his money, trumped up some ridiculous charge about breaking the conditions of his letter of marque, and hanged him like a common thief. The blackguards!
Letter of marque?
The document that permitted him to engage and destroy the enemies of the crown. The difference between a lawful privateer and a pirate.
Yoo-hoo! Sorry, Frost.
Well, why didn't Ketch just say, take a hike, guys, I've got a pirating license?
Frederick Ketch was not a pirate.
But he did show them his letter of marque.
But they destroyed it and hanged him anyway.
I've been talking to Rio, the little fisher boy.
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobbart.
Yeah, well, he's only, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the tops.
What is it about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
What can you tell me about Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
That's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobbart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
What else can you tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Woe betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobbart. Heaven help you.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon. It was a sturdy, extendable ladder. The ladder extended easily. The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point. I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across. Did you see the sisters go by?
Yeah, they wanted to string that Fisher brat up. Of course, I told them where to find him.
A fink as well as a creep. Nice.
But he'd managed to vanish somehow.
Catch you later, Bronson. I think Bronson is trying to cheat those sweet, vulnerable old ladies.
That's a little unfair, isn't it?
Okay, he's trying to cheat those seriously demented, poisonous old ladies.
You have to admire his acumen.
Tell me about your friend Emily.
Why are you so interested in Emily Ketch?
Emily Ketch? A descendant of Captain Ketch, the pirate?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't bother you?
Why should it? We don't responsible for our ancestors.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. Oh, I know all about Mr. Bronson's plans.
Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you say you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quaramontian dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
Will you give me a fish if I give you Rio, are these ugly, tasteless nylon panties worth a fish?
No, man.
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while, though.
Did you see the weird sisters come by here?
Did I? They look madder than usual, so I hide until they're gone by.
Just as well. They thought you were playing with Emily. Boy, were they steamed.
Emily? You're madder than them.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the boy. It was a net left to dry in the sunshine. I didn't want a fishing net. No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey! I caught a bite!
You have?
It's a big one! A real big one!
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, it must be a whale or something.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait. It was half a rusting bicycle frame. The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem. What you got there?
What can I do with an old inner tube?
I know what I'd do. I'd make the biggest catapult you'd ever seen and use it to smack bronze with a fish from a safe distance.
Those ballistic fish shenanigans of yours are going to get you in deep trouble someday. A large tree stood beside the house, with a suggestive U formed by the branches. Hi, Puss. Want to play? Hey, Cat. Watch where you're putting those claws. That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac. I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you, too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this, and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting. What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobbart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson.
I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously. The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things. It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though. The novelty value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there. With Bronson out of the way, I could finally get a clear look at the plans. Engineers' drawings didn't mean much to me, but one thing was clear. These plans were for a 5-story, 200-roomed, luxury, pirate-themed hotel. Another stain on the bedspread of paradise. Look here. Bronson's plans.
Was I right? Is that creep up to no good?
Darn right he is.
You there! Why is Mr. Bronson hanging from that flagpole?
He climbed up there of his own accord.
Then help him, you stupid man! Quickly, before he falls!
Hey, get me down!
What's the magic word?
Please!
Oh, bad luck. I was thinking of Alakazam. I've got your plans, Bronson. I know about the hotel.
So what? This is between me and the Daves.
Those sweet old ladies trusted you. This isn't what they wanted.
Oh, people like them don't know what they want. Instead of wasting their money on this mausoleum, I can turn it to profit.
But you should have discussed it with them first. If I was to let you down, will you promise to come clean about your plan?
Sure I will.
And you'll come to a tasteful compromise with Miss Frost and Miss Mina?
Taste? What's taste got to do with architecture?
Oh, dear. You'll have to stay where you are until you see sense.
You rat.
Catch you later, Bronson. Here, Bronson's plans.
This means nothing to me.
She's not wearing her reading glasses.
Ah, wait. Yes, I see now. I see it all too clearly. That man is planning to build a huge hotel. Bronson is a confidence trickster. Mina, we have been duped. I'm glad we didn't sign his contract.
Oh, I hate tricksters, especially confident ones.
Come, Mina. Mr. Bronson, you may consider yourself persona non grata.
Yes. Cave Canum.
Kindly disentangle yourself from our flagpole and eject yourself from our property this very minute.
Disentangle. Eject.
Hey, cut that out, you crazy old bat.
How dare you? Mina isn't crazy, she's just engagingly eccentric.
Yeah, as a bedbug. Ouch!
Lovely as this little vista is, I'd be really grateful if you could let me into the museum now.
Certainly, young man. We are most grateful to you for exposing this scoundrel. Mina, the lock.
Thanks, ladies.
Stobbart, be a pal. Get these harpies off me. Ooh!
While George was basking in the sun-drenched Caribbean, I went to London. It was a long shot, but I thought I'd start my search for the Jaguar Stone at the British Museum. The two Japanese girls were inexplicably amused by something. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. The mask looked more African than American. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design. It was a stone identical in size and style to the coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec. The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move. The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. It was a small flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake.
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about that stone with a jaguar on it?
The so-called Jaguar stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented, with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror, to John Dee.
What's this scrying mirror?
It's a little square of polished obsidian. Mine it is.
And what does it do?
Well, it's a bit like a crystal ball, except flat and black. And you can't see anything in it. Old man Dee had a psychic who reckoned he could speak to the angels through it. I think he was taking Dee for a ride myself. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? Tizletlik... I can't even say it. Ah, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillet?
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle, France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
I thought you were going to stay in Quaramonte to witness the eclipse.
Alas, business comes first. An important consignment of artifacts on loan to the British Museum. But I intend to return to Quaramonte in plenty of time.
What can you tell me about the Jaguar stone, Professor?
It's obsidian, from the Chichen Itza region.
Professor Roubillet, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Roubillet showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. It was a small key intended for a small lock.
What was it you wanted?
Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Oublier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Oh?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oublier, and fast.
You'll have to be quick, miss. I'm on the phone.
Don't you think it's suspicious that Oublier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess.
It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design. The doors were securely locked.
I'm sorry, miss, but I shall have to ask you to stay.
Oh, but surely you don't suspect me of stealing the stone?
No, but you will have to make a statement to the police. You're a witness.
The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. The cabinet was locked. The key unlocked the case. I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages. March 20th, 1676. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'Tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from KETCH'S ship. Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobbart had a nasty experience in a water butt once. Maybe that wheel was from KETCH'S ship. Suddenly, I was 12 years old again.
Hard a port, bosun.
Aye, aye, Captain Stobbart.
She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandon ship.
It was a ship's bell.
Two bells and all's well.
Pirates were cool. Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. It was an actual pirate ship chart. The top surface of the desk had a large recessed area set into it. I guessed it was intended to stop things rolling off in heavy seas. There was also an inkwell, and, a few inches away, a small hole with a feather placed in it. It was one of those old pens made out of a feather. That might come in useful, in ticklish situations. It was Captain KETCH'S sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with KETCH'S loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft. I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah, I know. Scary-looking guy, huh?
He was my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, you have his eyes.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
'Cause Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
That cross you're wearing, Emily?
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
It's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed me well with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night, when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sick of puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tiger fish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me, stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk.
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm putting this old map on the desk.
What you doing that for, Jaws?
Because it was obviously intended to fit in this recessed area.
How'd you work that out?
It's obvious. It was a neat oil lantern made of brass. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I've put the lantern in the inkwell. See? It fits.
Why?
Because it was cut to fit.
Why?
Because sneaky old Captain Ketch made it that way.
Why?
What is with all the questions?
'Cause I'm interested.
Why?
'Cause I have the insatiable curiosity of the young.
Why?
All right. Truce.
Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing now?
Grown-up stuff.
I doubt that.
I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it! Ketch's Treasure Island!
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
Rio had gone back to fishing. Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tiger fish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies.
So, this was Zombie Island. Somehow I'd been expecting something more sinister. Come on, Rio. Let's find that treasure.
No, thanks. I'm staying right here.
Oh, come on. You said yourself there's no zombies left.
Yeah, but that was while there was a big pile of seawater between me and this place. All me have now is this little bit between the boat and the shore, and I'm hanging on to it.
The outcrop was about the only feature on the cliff face. It was too high. I couldn't get up there. Rio's boat was strewn with fishing nets and tackle.
That Emily sure asks a lot of questions.
Resic, man, this whole Emily business just isn't funny.
Look, we're obviously at cross purposes here. I'm talking about Emily Ketch.
Yeah, and so am I. She was my friend. Her aunts hated it, but we did move together, you know. She used to be real keen at hide and seek. It could take hours to find her. One time, the last time, it took days. She must have shouted and screamed herself hoarse, but there was nobody to hear her.
Where'd she hidden herself?
Captain KETCH'S old sea chest. The only way to open it was from the outside.
Suddenly, I didn't feel so good. We never exchanged another word about Emily Ketch. Could I borrow your net?
Yeah, man, no problem. You planning on catching some fish?
Nope. I'm after a big rock.
It was too high. I couldn't get up there.
Well, here I go. Wish me luck, Rio.
Good luck, George. Watch out for the walking dead.
I stumbled down dark stairwells for what seemed like forever, until suddenly I found myself, wow, in an abandoned London Underground station. This place must have been closed down decades ago. It was a poster advertising holidays in Scotland. A pile of old railway sleepers was blocking the platform. One D only was embossed below the coin slot. Something protruded slightly from the slot. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. I pushed the hair clip into the slot and whatever was stuck there disappeared into the machine. There was a copper coin in the cup. I pulled out an old English penny. A flap covered the tray into which the machine dispensed chocolate bars. The tray was empty. It was an old English penny coin. On one side was Britannia, managing to look both virginal and matronly. On the other was the head of King George VI, looking much the same. An ancient bar of chocolate dropped into the tray at the bottom of the machine. And as a special bonus, the penny dropped through to the reject bucket. I took the ancient bar of chocolate. I pulled out an old English penny. It was a very old bar of chocolate with a row of boys pictured on the wrapper. It was an old ticket machine. A sign read, "Tickets 3D." The machine looked like it had sold its last ticket a long time ago. LBS. Lubes? What are lubes? I put the old penny into the slot, the needle twitched rustily and the machine spat out a card. The poster was advertising a play I'd never heard of. It was an old map of the London Underground. The train signal light still worked. A warning sign saying high voltage convinced me to leave the lights alone. It was the tunnel the train had come out of. It was a maintenance cupboard. A latch lock stopped me getting into the cupboard. The blade of the dagger just fitted between the door and the soft wood frame. The door gave slightly and then held firm. My fingers were too big to reach into the tiny crack. The weight was in imperial units. It meant nothing to me. The card also had my fortune on it. A family quarrel will turn out to your advantage. I remembered my student days when I regularly forgot my house keys. A wiggle with the thick card between the frame and the lock, and the latch lifted. It was a big, red, ever so tempting button. The train was my ride out of there. I could worry about not having a ticket when I got to the docks.
It was a stagnant swamp. A clump of reeds grew out of the stinking swamp. It was a short, hollow reed. There was something in that hole beneath the rock. The end of the reed had been neatly bitten off. Now I knew what was living in there. A long-toothed, snarling, furry wild thing. As soon as I stooped to investigate the hole, its inhabitant disappeared into the darkness. What the? Steady, guy. It's just a monkey. The dart fitted snugly into the reed. Great. I was tooled up and dangerous. The poisoned dart was loosely lodged inside the reed. The path was blocked by an ugly and extremely dangerous-looking boar. The boar's expression said, "Forget it, Stobbart." The boar looked determined to stop me from getting past. The branch wasn't as strong as I'd thought. That branch had helped me all it was going to. It was a needle of rock in the middle of the clearing. It didn't look like a natural formation. I remembered KETCH'S log. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Seemed pretty relevant now. The rock was partially overgrown by creepers. The creeper just came away from the rock as I pulled it. The marker clipped firmly onto the net. Great. I'd created some sort of creeper marker fishing net assembly. Sometimes I terrify myself with my creative genius. I'd successfully got the marker into a position near the top of the needle simply by using the kind of lateral thinking that can get you institutionalized. Not far away, I could see Camel's Hump Hill. Initials had been carved into the rock. Initials carved into the stone read F.K. Frederick Ketch had been here. Three shallow holes had been made in the rock. Joining the dots would make an equilateral triangle. It was Bronson's theodolite, now being put to a nobler use than petty larceny. The hill I was on had reminded me of a camel's hump as I'd climbed up it. Now I had to see what I could see. It was the marker which I had raised up the needle of rock. I could see the marker I had fastened on the rock down in the forest, and right in line with it, that had to be where Ketch had hidden his treasure.
The Xibalba princess lay at anchor just below Tower Bridge. I knew I'd found the right ship as soon as I saw Pablo at the rail. Pablo, Kazak's pet sadist. It was the Tower of London, originally built by the French, naturally. It was Tower Bridge, a magnificent mess of mock Gothic architecture and Victorian engineering. It was the door to the boat's main cabin. It was a porthole to the main cabin. A ladder gave access to the cabin's roof. It looked like the door to some sort of utility locker. Metal hooks had been welded onto each side of the door frame. A mop for swabbing the deck stood against the wall. It was risky, but I thought I could get to the next crate unseen. Got you.
But the color woman was there. They'll know it was me.
But you have the stone. The right stone, you're sure?
Yes, of course, it's the Jaguar stone. No possible mistake. Here it is. Karzak, please. The police will be looking for me soon. You're going to get me out of the country, aren't you?
Stop your whining, Oublier. Do you have any idea what this stone symbolizes?
I thought you just wanted it to frighten the natives.
Fool. I intend to cast this stone into the sea.
But why? It's unique.
Exactly. With it gone, the Mayan priest's plan to destroy Tezcatlipoca cannot succeed.
I can assure you that Tezcatlipoca is a mythical figure.
Such a small mind you live in. Tezcatlipoca is real. I have seen him in my dreams. We have spoken of his plans for this world. We have spoken of your part in these plans.
My part?
He told me you would be useful. He told me how to crush your spirit by turning you to drugs.
My wife died. You know that full well. She was my world, my everything.
And now, you are no longer useful. She called out your name as she died, you know.
What? What are you saying?
And then they thought you'd done it. It all worked perfectly.
You? It was you? You bastard! You monster! For the love of God, Karzak!
Which one?
There were no signs of life, but I checked that Oublier really was beyond help. It was the Jaguar stone that Oublier had stolen from the museum. It was identical in size and shape to the coyote stone. A stylized carving of a jaguar decorated one side. We were going to need the stone to thwart Karzak. I knew Oublier would have approved. It was the Jaguar stone, all right. I was seconds from death. I had to stop him somehow. My sight had become tunnel vision. I knew I was dying. There were no signs of life, but I checked that Oublier really was beyond help. It was the Jaguar stone that Oublier had stolen from the museum. It was identical in size and shape to the coyote stone. A stylized carving of a jaguar decorated one side. We were going to need the stone to thwart Karzak. I knew Oublier would have approved. It was the Jaguar stone, all right.
Pirates! I was about to make good my escape when...
Cut! Who the hell are you?
I can explain everything.
Don't bother.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were making a movie.
So who are you?
Stobbart. George Stobbart. 2 B's and 2 T's.
It's okay, Mr. Hawks. He wasn't in the shot.
Hawks? This had to be Carlton Hawks, the newest enfant terrible of Tinseltown. I'd read about him. Mailroom boy makes good. Nice to know it was still possible to get to be a director armed with only an encyclopedic knowledge of postal charges.
Stay out of the way, surfer boy. I'll deal with you later.
Surfer boy? The great director. Well, that's what his pose was supposed to say. He reminded me of Ed Wood. It was a woman with huge boots and an impressive cleavage. The kid looked more like a common street punk than a movie star. For some reason, the makeup department had given him a liberal sprinkling of zits. It was a camera mounted on a precarious dolly, or whatever they call them. It was the cameraman. He was a middle-aged man with a pock-marked face. More Davy Crockett than Long John Silver. Hi there, George Stobbart.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Haiku McEwen.
Is your name really Haiku?
Yeah. It was my mom's idea, okay? When I was born, I was so small and perfectly formed I reminded her of a Japanese poem.
Well, I guess it could have been worse. She could have called you Limerick.
That's my middle name.
Did you always want to be an actor?
I don't think of what I do as acting, man.
You're not alone.
It's more like I'm the voice of my generation. What I'm saying for the kids on the street.
Which is what? I'm crap, I'm going nowhere?
Huh? What are you saying, man?
Stobbart, get out of shot. Positions, everybody.
I'll get a flip chart and explain it to you later, Haiku.
Haiku, baby, are you ready?
Okay, man. Which scene is this?
You've been captured by Silver's accomplice, Pirate Babs, who's fallen in love with you. Okay, people, top of page 76, Sharon.
What about my big speech?
It's been cut. Everybody ready?
Up to speed.
Quiet on the set. Okay, let's make magic.
Oh, please.
And action!
Why don't you forget that dumb old squire and his bunch of merry men? Can't you see we were made for each other?
I know, but Squire Trelawney saved my life, Captain Babs. Why, if it hadn't have been for him, that giant octopus would have made mincemeat out of me.
But right now he thinks you're a traitor. He's locked you out of the stockade, Jimbo.
That 20-foot high wall with spikes might have kept out Silver's men, but it ain't gonna stop me.
Oh, Jimbo.
Good heavy breathing, Sharon.
Natch, I'm a pro.
Did you get the heavy breathing, Flash?
Did I ever, boss? We should have made this movie in 3D.
Haiku, you were great. We're setting up for the stunt now, so get a bite to eat. Savage, on set, damn it.
Hey there, I'm George Stobbart.
Well, hi, handsome. You're cute. I wish it was you playing the lead male instead of that kid.
I can't act, ma'am.
So what? I bet you can kiss.
I couldn't believe I was having this conversation with a real movie star. What's it like sharing the spotlight with an actor who's young enough to be your son?
What do you mean?
What part are you playing?
Pirate Babs, the ruthless and passionate lady buccaneer. It's a great part. I get to kiss a lot, and I kick ass. Like the boots?
Mr. Hawks, I was wondering if...
Not now. I got a movie to make. Time for the stunt, Savage. It's a short run, bounce on the plank, and somersault over the spikes and stockade wall.
Do what?
Plank, spikes, wall, over. Easy, a child could do it.
At my age? You must be joking.
I could replace you, Savage.
Yeah, with an arthritic baboon.
Replace me? Lummy, this could be the last stunt I ever perform. I need to think about this. Get myself in the right frame of mind.
A suicidal one would fit the bill for that stunt.
Fine. You do that. In the meantime, we'll break for lunch.
Oh, great. I'm famished.
Stay right there and meditate, Savage.
Tight-ass little git.
What's the name of the movie?
Are you trying to be funny?
No.
It's Treasure Island, the only book I ever read twice.
I don't recall any girls in Treasure Island.
Gotta think box office. People like that kind of thing.
What other changes have you made to the story?
Just a few minor details.
You haven't written out Long John Silver.
Are you questioning my integrity as an artist? Of course Silver's still in it. We've even hung on to Captain Flint.
His parrot.
His trained attack falcon. Why do you think Blind Pew's blind?
Did you say you've changed the ending of the story?
That's right.
Do they find the treasure?
Yeah, but that comes later, after they've escaped the volcanic eruption.
A volcano?
Sure. Krakatoa.
All the millions spent on a movie, and nobody thinks to buy an atlas. Who's playing Jim Hawkins?
Haiku McEwen. Oh, don't tell me you've never heard of him.
I don't go to the movies too often.
Jeez. Haiku is only the hottest teen star in Hollywood. That's why we're on such a tight schedule. Gotta film the close-ups before he hits puberty.
Who's the leading lady?
Don't you recognize her? That's Sharon Kowalski.
Oh, right. I'd never heard of her. You know what the locals call this place, don't you?
No, but I guess you're gonna tell me.
Zombie Island.
Zombies?
A crazed gleam came into his eye.
Get me the writers. Get me makeup. I want zombie pirates in this movie by the end of today.
It was a camera mounted on a precarious dolly, or whatever they call them. It was the cameraman. Hi, I'm George Stobbart.
My name's Harris. Most people call me Flash.
You're the cameraman, right?
That's right.
Why'd they call you Flash? You used to be a stills photographer?
Nope.
I decided not to pursue the subject. What do you think of Haiku McEwen?
What's the thing? The kid will learn more by the time his ball's dropped than I'll learn in a lifetime. Good luck to him.
Hey, Haiku,
Yeah, man.
you're playing Jim Hawkins, right?
Jimbo. I had Mr. Hawks change his name.
Jimbo Hawkins, right. I'd seen a lot of strange things on this island, but here was a bush that was buzzing. As I walked towards the bush, it started buzzing angrily. Now I knew why that bush was buzzing. Hornets. It was a plate of buns. The bun was so stale it felt like a small rock. It was a pile of pancakes, much depleted by the stuntman. There was a pot of delicious-looking maple syrup on the table. It was a plain pancake. It was a pot of maple syrup. It was a stale bun which could easily have passed for a rock. He was a middle-aged man with a pock-marked face. Hi, George Stobbart.
Hello, mate.
You're English, right?
Blimey, you don't miss much, do you? Bert Savage.
How long have you been in the movie business?
Flipping years, mate. Absolutely flipping years. I was in the army before that. Thought to myself, you've been risking your bleeding neck every day, why not cash in on it like?
So you became a stuntman, just like that?
Nah, of course not. I had to do the training first.
What training does a stuntman do?
First they told me to stand in the road. Then they run me down. Straight up. Drove at me with a car. I couldn't believe it. I was up on the bonnet and over the other side before I realised he wasn't stopping. Then they threw me downstairs a bit and gives me a certificate.
I don't want to worry you, but there's a hornet's nest over in that bush.
Hornets. That reminds me of a film I was in. The Black Hornet.
The Black Hornet? I don't remember seeing that one.
Before your time, most likely.
What happens in it?
Lummy, what don't happen in it? I was shot, stabbed, fed to piranhas, dangled from an airship and trampled by a zebra.
No, I mean, what was the plot?
Plot?
Did you ever work with Carol Climax?
The Dirty Dachshund? I'll say. Flipping princess, mate.
I heard she was very beautiful.
Mind you, she acted like one too. Ordering this, demanding that.
Hi.
Hi, gorgeous.
What do you think of Hawk's treatment of Treasure Island?
It's okay, I guess. I never saw the original.
It's a book. One of my favorites.
Really? The novelization's out already?
I was talking to Mr. Savage, the stuntman. Is he all right?
What makes you say that?
He's not making any sense.
The guy's English.
What have you got there?
Would you like a pancake, Bert?
Don't mind if I do.
The pancake oozed maple syrup all over Bert's chins.
Yeah, you put bloody syrup on that pancake. Now it's messed me all up.
Those hornets were not pleased.
Camera rolling. This could be good. Cut and printed. That was brilliant, folks. Okay, the next scene is down on the beach. This is where Hawkins finds the treasure in the Cave of the Crabs.
Would those be giant killer crabs by any chance?
Giant mutant killer crabs with attitude.
There it was, the rock I'd seen from the camel's hump. Now that I was close up, I could make out a small cave near the top of the pillar.
Hey, you! Trouble!
Who, me?
I want you to stay right where I can keep an eye on you.
I'm not one of your lackeys, Hawks. I go where I like.
Not here, you don't. The movie company has rented this island for the duration. You're trespassing. Do as you're told or you're gone.
Hi, Bert.
Don't you eye me. Fine friend you turned out to be.
What's the problem?
Huh.
Look, Bert, what's wrong?
You got a bloody nerve. If I didn't know better, I'd have thought you gave me that pancake just so them hornets would go for me.
Oh, Bert, you've wounded me. How can you think that?
Well, by looking at the evidence.
I don't know why you still want to be a stuntman anyway.
Of course, it's all I know, isn't it? If I don't do this, what do I do?
Well, how about being a stunt coordinator?
Being a what?
You stand around in a big jacket and a baseball cap, telling the stunt people what to do.
I can do that.
Hey, you've done the job for years and you're not dead. That's gotta be good for morale.
Well, I don't know.
You get your own megaphone.
I'll do it.
George Stobbart, international adventurer and roaming careers advisor. What films have you worked on in the past?
Remember Death Stalker of the 10th grade? The psychotic biker what crashed into the school bus? That was me. Or what about They Prayed to Satan? I was the bloke in the hospital scene. You know, the one who caught fire, fell through the flipping skylight.
I don't think I caught those. Must be cool getting to travel the world like this.
Yeah, nice here, innit? My Barrow used to love the seaside. Day out at Clacton. Bloody smashing. A pint of jelly deals washed down with a bottle of brown. Quick feel on a big wheel and a stroll around the town. Course, them days, you could live like a flipping king on 10 bob a night. Tombola, frothy coffee at the cap or the prom.
You know, I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. What's it like to work with Carlton Hawk?
Flipping misery, mate.
Did you ever meet Bertrand Oubier?
Meet him? No. I saw him a few times, though. He didn't like his wife being in films.
Do you think Oubier murdered his wife?
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Mind you, there were plenty of people who could have done her in.
I thought the public loved her.
Yeah, but people who knew her saw the other side.
I've had a great idea. How about you dress up as Jim Hawkins and climb up to that cave over there?
What cave? That cave? You must think I'm balmy. I did me back in being chased by them hornets over that flaming stockade wall. No way am I going up there.
Well, that narrowed the field. You don't look happy.
Why should I be happy? Look at that cave. It's supposed to be where the treasure is.
So?
Look at it. It's crap. Does that look like the sort of place anybody would hide treasure? I should have had props build me a proper damn cave. A cinematic cave.
What do you mean, a cinematic cave?
One with drama. Danger. One that looks like the mouth of a big stone skull would be cool, but I'd settle for drama and danger.
Why don't you use that cave up on the rock pillar at the end of the beach?
We don't have a stuntman anymore.
Hey, I'll do the stunt.
I appreciate the offer, but if you fall, you'll sue us.
No, I won't.
Everybody hear that?
I heard it.
Good enough, we're covered. Got any experience?
Death-defying leaps, desperate fistfights, getting caught in explosions, you name it.
Okay, people, move out. We're shooting the scene at the end of the beach.
No, we're not. The camera's still bogged down.
Shoot, I forgot about that. No go, Stobbart. We'll have to use this cave after all.
It was a portable movie camera. Mr. Hawks doesn't like that cave. He says it isn't cinematic enough.
Well, that's just too tough. The camera's bogged down in the sand. If he wants the shot done today, it'll have to be that cave.
There's a pretty good cave over on the other side of the bay.
The one up in that finger of rock? We'd need a stuntman.
You got a stuntman.
We ain't got no stuntman. Bird injured his back doing that dumb wall jump.
Flash?
Yep.
We can't film at the Needle Rock because the camera's bogged down, right?
You got it, champ.
So why can't we use the portable camera instead?
You know, that's a pretty smart idea.
I've been talking to the cameraman. He's got a portable camera.
So?
So you can use the cave in that rock pillar at the end of the beach. That's a dramatic cave if ever I saw one.
We ain't got a stabilized harness for it. The camera'll wobble.
Did D.W. Griffiths have a stabilized harness when he made Birth of a Nation?
You're right, damn it. Hitchcock, Wells, none of them needed one. For crying out loud, Sam Raimi stabilized his camera on a plank. Props, get me a plank. We're gonna wing it. Hot dog. We're gonna do a cinema verite pirate movie. George, get to wardrobe. We're gonna make you a star.
On my way. Ready when you are, Mr. Hawks. The stone which Ketch had captured from the Spanish. The Eagle Stone.
I returned to Quaramonte and found that George had left a message with Conchita. He'd already left for the Indian village, so I hurried to catch up with him. When I arrived, I found a scene of desolation. These sunglasses are George's ages. George, where are you? Titi Poco, I'm almost glad to see you. You little asshole. What happened here? Are you responsible for this? And well, and George, have you seen him? He was pointing to the remains of a burned-out hut. One thing I was sure of, those underpants weren't George's. Maybe George can make use of these. They were lovely underpants, really. It was a very hot and blackened stone. It was too hot to pick up. The water could have cooled the stone if I could figure out a way of getting it into the barrel. I just didn't have the strength to tip that barrel. Hey, Shorty, make yourself useful and help me with this barrel. Thanks. It was the Coyote stone, the original stone that I found in Paris. What is it? Where are you pointing? There was nothing I wanted to ask him. It was a smashed lantern, probably the cause of this destruction. I didn't need the lantern since it was still daylight. Besides, it was broken. We arrived to find George being led up the stairs. We clearly didn't have much time. The scaffold gantry went all the way up the pyramid. It was a length of strong rope. It was a small but very enticing button. The button didn't seem to do anything. It was an old electricity generator. It was a small, screw-fit cylindrical housing. It looked like a fuel line. Titipoco, I have an important job for you. Take this rope to the top of this scaffolding and throw it over the top.
Rope.
The motor spluttered into life. There was a lever mounted on the side of the motor. Titipoco, when I tell you, I want you to copy what I am doing.
Copy.
Okay? Copy. George! I realized those bastards were going to sacrifice George to Tezcatlipoca over my dead body. Thankfully, George was the only one to notice me.
Where are they? The eclipse is about to happen.
Patience. Your mother will be here soon and Karzak will be close behind. Just keep the Yankee covered and leave the worrying to others.
Yeah, Raoul.
The maniacs were going to sacrifice George!
Shut up, Stobbart. Just shut up!
Calm down. He's no threat.
Hey, Raoul, why don't you do us both a favor and shoot Pablo?
You're very funny, Stobbart. I haven't forgotten Marseille. When Karzak cuts your heart out, I'll be the one laughing.
I'll bet I'm not the only one due for the chop around here either. Hey, Raoul?
I'm warning you.
Raoul was a bundle of raw nerves. I hoped George wouldn't push him too far. It was Pablo, Karzak's right-hand sadist. General Raoul Graziento, I didn't fancy Raoul's chances once Karzak didn't need him anymore. Karzak's goons had left an ammunition belt lying around. There were a few sealed crates and drums. None of them looked like they might be useful.
Hey, señorita.
Too late. I had been seen. Bonjour, Capitaine.
Only Sergeant, pretty one. What are you doing here?
Snuggles said I could come here with him.
Snuggles?
Oh, I mean the General. We're, friends. May I go up the pyramid?
We have strict instructions not to let anybody pass.
Oh, but I've told you who I am. Surely nobody would mind.
Well...
Oh, please, I'd be ever so grateful.
I tell you what, I'll ask Pablo if it's okay for you to go up.
If Pablo saw me, I'd be dead. No, it's not worth the bother. I'm not really that interested in their stupid pyramid anyway.
Well, okay. It's men's work up there anyway.
I'll just run along and play around here, okay?
Okay, you do that.
It looked like Karzak was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. It looked like Karzak was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. It looked like Karzak was using Quaramontean troops and local Indians as his guards. Those jackals weren't going to let me past. There was an unlit torch by the base of the steps. Titipoco, do you still have that lighter gun you pulled on me so amusingly?
What's going on over there? Do you need help, my pretty?
Nothing's wrong. I dropped, a cigarette butt. Everything is under control. I'll have the fire out in a minute or two.
What's that? What's happening?
Trouble.
Keep it up. The pyramid's surrounded.
I'll find out what the trouble is. Watch Stobbart doesn't pull any tricks. If he does, shoot him in the head, not through the heart.
Why does it matter? He'll be dead either way.
His heart belongs to Tezcatlipoca.
That's not true. We just had dinner a couple of times.
Drop the gun or I shoot!
Please, don't hurt me!
Don't worry yourself. My finger isn't loaded.
Nico, what are you doing here?
Firstly, I'm going to set George free, and then screw up Karzak's scheme.
No, I can't let you do that. Karzak has promised me power.
Raoul, wake up. The only thing Karzak has on offer is death. You may want to ask Oublié. Except you can't. Karzak murdered him.
You're lying. Oublié's in Europe.
Sure, he's in Europe. In London, on a mortuary slab with 2 bullet holes in him.
But Karzak promised. When he frees Tezcatlipoca, we'll all be granted great power.
Listen to her, Raoul. Karzak's insane.
I don't know. I need to think.
You've let your mother do your thinking for you up to now. You need to think for yourself. Your mother and Karzak think alike. There's only one expendable member of the plan left, and that's you.
Mother would never betray me.
Oh, I'm tired of trying to reason with you, Raoul. Titipoco. Watch this man, and if he makes a move, shoot him with your gun. Hold still, George. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
You have no idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoco. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid, the house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime, take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoco have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoco? Nothing. He's given up violence. By the door was a pattern picked out in blue. On the wall was an intricate pattern in blue and gold. There was a large image on the wall of a man in ceremonial garb. More usefully, there were also a couple of levers. The lever was made of stone. Oof! The lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway. Heave! Still no good. George?
Yeah?
George, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Raoul, there's something suspicious. This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Titipoco. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Titipoco's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of the sun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you and Karzak with that devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! This Catlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here. The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held 2 great discs, each covered in glyphs. There was a statue of a monkey, some sort of religious significance. The monkey held a board containing more tiles with colored glyphs on them. There were several tiles with glyphs on them. The tile didn't want to move. The tile moved slightly. The tile moved inwards and clicked home. Et voilà! George once told me that there's an knack to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it. It was the secret exit that I had revealed by solving the glyphs puzzle.
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end titty poco. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around.
There was something interesting lurking in the shadows, but I couldn't make out what it was. A really creepy statue. The figure held a skull and a bowl, probably for a heart to go in. Yuck! There was a torch in a sconce by the doorway.
Look, I need to light this torch. Can you do something clever with a couple of sticks, or flint and tinder, or... or a cheesy novelty cigarette lighter, as it turned out?
There was a picture of somebody holding a torch and another guy with a lever. The lever was real. Well, there was nothing else to do around here, so I pulled the lever.
Nothing's happened. Oh, I hate that. Don't you hate that? Titty Poco? Oh my... Oh...
Great. I had no idea where I was, no idea where the others had got to, and time was running out to stop Karzak. Still, I wasn't dead yet, so it wasn't all bad news. There was a lever on the wall. A stone slab that must have weighed tons sealed the door. There was a huge doorway in the far wall. Charming. Lovely. Looks like my school gym teacher. To the left of the door was a stone lever. There was a stone lever to the right of the doorway. Another huge stone doorway. Every time I think this place can't get any spookier, it does.
an impressively linteled doorway. Yes, finally! I'm out of here. Beyond the secret door was nothing but gloom. My old torch was dying, and I had no desire to be plunged into darkness. There was an unused torch up on the wall. Once more into the unknown. There was a lever camouflaged within the wall design. Cool. Onwards and downwards, Mr. Stobbart. This was it. The pyramid's central chamber. Its dark heart. Once before in my life, I'd stood in front of a door and thought, this is it. If I go through there, I'm going to die. I'd been wrong then, and I hoped I was wrong now. This was the door that led to the central chamber and the smoking mirror.
in search of the sun, flying and fishing, looking for fun. But it isn't easy leaving cares behind. And pretty soon you'll find happiness is an inside job. If your name is Mary, if your name is Bob, it's up to you if you sing or sob. Remember, happiness is an inside job. You can have a house on top of the hill, bank accounts worth a couple of mil. But when you lose your spark and your spirit's dead, had to